All right, so a friend of mine sent me this video and they wanted to know what my perception was, problem with this image. So I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen this before. Literally the guy taking a break from hitting the diamonds, and then you have this new guy trying to get to the diamonds as well. Yeah, some people say he's giving up. I just say he's coming back tomorrow. So that's the mentality aspect of this image. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the problem with this image.
Before. It's quite popular, and on its surface, it's meant to be motivational. The message being never give up, because you'll never know how close you were to making it. This was the original intention of the image, which is called persistence, and was created by a Brazilian illustrator called Doom. It's most likely though that you've seen this image in the form of a meme, maybe poking fun at the sunk cost fallacy. The idea that one would keep going with something solely because they've already invested into it, regardless of if further investment would hurt them more. Think of someone chasing losses at a casino, or continuing to watch a terrible movie they are not enjoying simply because they've already watched half of it. Other forms of the meme edit the image to joke about people who, for example, stop watching a TV show right before it gets really good, or even right before it gets really bad. But I want to talk about the original purpose of the image, because even though it's been clowned on a lot, there are still people who might look at it and think that the sentiment of it is correct, even if it's a little cringe and the sort of cheesy post you might expect to see on a Hustle Bros LinkedIn. I mean, perseverance is a good thing, right? And yeah, sure it is, but is that what this image actually represents? So in the image, it looks like the man is walking.
It's art, man. It's always up to the interpretation. Even if the creator or the artist was like, this is what it means, it doesn't matter what they think, even though they created it, because we're all still going to interpret it differently anyway.
Walking away just as he's about to strike diamonds. I mean, if he just hit that tiny little membrane of rock a little bit longer, he'd be rich beyond his wildest dreams. I mean, some of the diamonds are bigger than his head, but it only looks that way because we, the observers, can see from a perspective that is invisible to him. Not to mention impossible in general. It's a cross-section of an area below the Earth's surface, fully illuminated. We can see things he will never be able to see. From his perspective, he is no closer to riches than he ever was, and it's most likely he doesn't even know for sure there are diamonds to be found in the first place. If someone was certain that digging in a specific direction would net a guaranteed level of reward within a finite amount of time, it would only be sensible to keep going for as long as the reward would render the time and effort invested worth it. In these circumstances, walking away would only make sense if spending a single extra second or expending a single extra bit of effort would result in an overall net loss, even if the diamonds were then found immediately after. It would be a Pyrrhic victory, a victory that comes at too great a cost to have been worth the investment. But these diamonds would set him and his future generations up for life. There's no way it wouldn't be worth it to keep trying. So the man doesn't walk away because of some calculation he's made. The man walks away because he doesn't know. He's in the dark, and he has been since the beginning. It's only illuminated to us, the godlike observer. Now the thing about this image is that
and it's like it's also a conversation between perspective and perception. So as perceivers, we can see the diamonds behind this. His perspective, he only sees dirt and walls. So it's kind of a bit harsh for us to be like, bro, you're almost there, when they can't see it. And this goes deeper into even, like, say, psychology. There's a lot of people that will put themselves in situations where they could actually achieve greater value in their physical health, mental health, social health, whatever, but they can't see that because they're in their perspective, which is already dark and warped, to be like, you can't do it, you don't have it, blah blah blah, all these negative traits or negative emotions or just negative environment can cause somebody to not be able to see the light, even though there's light all around them, or it's just around the corner, or it takes a little bit more effort to actually explode with the love and positivity that is around us. But because our perception is so skewed and so narrow, you're not able to see it. which is why it's always important to have like somebody around you that does have the energy to be like, yeah, man, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Because legitimately keep going can change your life. But again, sunk cost fallacy.
It's only illuminated to us, the godlike observer. Now, the thing about this image is that while it's apparently an encouragement for us to never give up, it can't be applied to real life because it's not reflective of real life circumstances. In the real world, we can't know if an effort will pay off if there is no indication that a potential payoff exists. And most of us aren't pioneers. Most of us aren't willing to be the first to put great effort and persistence into trying something that is completely unproven. Before Roger Bannister broke the record for running a mile in under 4 minutes in 1954, the idea of a human being running a sub 4-minute mile was seen by many as impossible. And of course it was. No one had ever done it. But once Roger proved it could be done, there were then many more athletes that did it following him because now they knew it was possible. Not easy, but at least possible. When we know for certain that a payoff exists, regardless of how unlikely it might be, we're much more willing to try. Imagine you're one of the millions of kids out there who hope to make it to the NBA or the Premier League or any top division sports league and make your fortune and legend as a star athlete. Statistically, you are not going to make it. There's almost no chance, but, and here's the important thing,
that's why you don't
it's not actually impossible. Someone will make it. It's just not at all likely to be you.
But it could be you. And the first step in believing that it can be you is believing that it will be you. Not can it be you, it will be you. And that's the big limiting factor. Can I do it versus I will do it. These are two different things, and these are what separate amazing, great people from the common individual. If you really want to achieve this level of greatness, you must believe within yourself you can achieve said greatness. Ignore statistics, ignore the haters, ignore people that want you to be realistic and reasonable. It's all going to be up to you to say you can or cannot do it. And even if you believe you can or say you will, if you do indeed fail, it's not a failure until you legitimately give up. And it's not even a failure if you decide to pivot as well. You could just decide to do something else. And all the experience you gain from believing that you will can easily transfer into somewhere else. Still creating a success within the narrative that is your life, that is your story.
But to you, this hopeful kid, that doesn't matter. You know it's possible, and you've just been shown an image that makes you feel you might be closer to success than you think. So after school, you show up to every practice. Once you get home, you watch motivational videos on YouTube. And when you fall asleep, you dream about your inevitable future as an international sporting star.
The big part is dreaming.
It doesn't matter to you that there are millions of other kids just like you who are just as likely to make it. You are special because your perspective is the only one you can see. This is all to say that knowing a persistent effort in a specific thing would eventually pay off for someone. Not necessarily you, but it theoretically would for somebody. It's not impossible. Gives a person a reason to keep going.
Absolutely.
And that is not the circumstance of the man in this image. He does not know for sure that there are diamonds. He's just digging, hoping he'll find something. Another way this image isn't true to life is that in the real world, when one is in pursuit of a goal, there are markers of progress while on the way to the goal, even if the goal is still far from being achieved. If a person wants to get ripped in the gym, that will take a very long time, assuming they do it healthily. But signs of progress will show relatively early in the form of fat loss, muscle growth, higher energy and strength levels, etc., right?
True.
They might still be far from looking like a bodybuilder, but they'll feel the positive impacts of working out long before it starts to show physically. And that is an indication that they're going in the right direction for their goal. On the other hand, the man in this image has no way of knowing if he's any closer to finding anything, not to speak of diamonds, than he was an hour ago, a week ago, or even a year ago. He is completely in the dark and always has been. Continuing to dig under these circumstances would be delusional, and the only reason it doesn't appear that way to us is because we have this godlike perspective that we
And you hear that? It would be delusional. You would have to warp your sense of the world around you for you to legitimately achieve the success that you claim you desire. To follow your desires is a delusion. What's the difference between you and the billions of other human beings on this earth? The difference is that you either believe in yourself or you do not. That is it. You believe you can do it, you most likely will do it. Not 100%, but nothing is 100% in this world, which is why you should try anyway, versus the others that don't try because they see the same question. Why try? Why not? What is stopping you from doing it besides yourself? And that is the answer for everything. Nothing stops you ever besides yourself. Oh, this law, this person, these people, my parents, those are excuses. And they may be valid excuses. I'm not saying these excuses don't mean anything. These definitely, if your parents don't believe in you, yes, that's gonna hurt you a lot more versus parents that do believe in you. But that's when you still need to find your sense of being. This you that you call yourself. It's not your name, it's not your job description, it's not the title that's given to you. That sense of being, that spirit, that soul, whatever word you want to put to it, that is you. And you have to say, I will be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. And this ain't just motivational speak, this is just real talk from real life experience. I never predicted I'd be in the world that I'm living in now, but here I am. We all come from different circumstances. It's about what you do with your God-given abilities to change your circumstances, and how you find those abilities is always going to be tapping into yourself, because we all, the billions of us, all have different skills that are innate to us. But what really makes you stand out is whenever you're able to get those other abilities from others around you to help propel each other to become more successful. That's why when people think, oh yeah, Messi, one of the greatest football players, it wasn't just Messi. He had a coach, he had a team, he had people that believed in him, he had people that supported him. Everybody had some type of support system, but it all stemmed from the first person that believed in them, which is themselves. There's nobody out here that's going to believe in you like you need to believe in yourself, and that's just real talk. Let's continue with the video.
We would never have in the real world. In real life, if someone opened up a shop and after a year of running it, they hadn't sold a single item or generated any interest in their products whatsoever, and yet the owner was still putting all their time, resources, and energy into keeping the shop open, the sensible thing would be to tell them to stop. It's clearly not working, and there's no evidence that it ever will work.
Yeah, you have 1 year versus the the rest of your life. Now that's a gamble only you can make. But 1 year, I mean, that's a lot of time. That shows a lot of progress. But that's not the end of your story. That's just a chapter.
Continuing to dig would be delusional. Walking away is the sensible thing to do. Now, this whole time, I haven't even spoken about the second man above, who still seems determined to strike it rich. And I call him the second man despite him being on top for two reasons. One, if you look at this image as a race to the diamonds, he is currently in second place. And two, he's just not that important to the illustration. If you removed him, the meaning of the image would be mostly the same. But if you remove the guy below, then the image changes completely. Absolutely. It's just a guy mining for diamonds. Yep. But that's not to say the second guy is here for no reason. He's been put here to invoke a sense of FOMO. Look, that other guy is going to get to the riches you could have gotten if you just kept going. But it's important to recognize that the second man is just as delusional as the first, because he has no more evidence that there is an ultimate payoff to his efforts than the first guy. He's just another man in the dark, and the gap between him and the diamonds may as well be thousands of miles for all the difference it makes. Now, I don't want people to take away from this that I think any effort without upfront evidence of an eventual payoff is wasted. There are many reasons to put effort into things that won't quote unquote pay off in the future. Sometimes the effort is the point.
For sure.
In the example where I had you imagine yourself as a young aspiring athlete, I left out something very important. What if your primary motivation to play the sport wasn't that you hoped to be a star? Of course, that might be a big part of it. But what if the primary motivation was that you simply like playing the sport? In that case,
Yes,
the
that's
effort
always important.
is the point. You spend so much time and energy getting better at football, not because you want to be a footballer, but because you like to play football.
Yes.
And as a result, maybe you might actually make it to the Premier League.
And you know what we call those people? I hate to cut this guy off because he's cooking so much, but we call those role players, right? Everybody knows about Michael Jordan. Everybody knows about Kobe Bryant. Not many people think about the other teammates except for others that understand that the superstar can't do it all by themselves. We have role players for a reason. We say stay in your lane for a reason. You might not be the greatest defender in footballing, but if you enjoy defending, you should be the defender. It doesn't matter on who's the best or who's the greatest unless you're looking from a specific narrative. And we all have our own narratives in the world. And that's why it's important to know why you are doing the things that you do, my friend. If you don't understand why you're doing it, even if it might be financially lucrative, it's all about, do you really enjoy doing it? Because you can have all the finances in the world, but if you still hate your life, you hate your life, bro. Like, you got a Lamborghini, but you don't enjoy driving it because you think it's like, what am I doing with my life, right? Because let's say because a lot of y'all believe y'all only have one life because YOLO. Y'all only believe in YOLO. If you really do believe in YOLO, why aren't you doing things that make you the most satisfied? Why are you trying to do things that make you the most wealthy? Now, there's every reason in the book, but at the end of the day, if you truly believe in you only have one life, you should be living that one life to serve the purpose of why you live in the first place. And for some people, they don't even know what that is. So I'm not sitting here to judge and say, you should be following your purpose. I'm sitting here to say you should find the purpose and then follow it. But let's continue the video. We're almost done. I'm overcooking. I'm sorry. I'm overcooking. Some of you guys, it's like going over your head. I already know. But for the ones that get it, that's why I make these videos, bro. I've been making videos over a decade, and it's not to become the #1 YouTuber or streamer. It's to share a perspective that'll help you become more enlightened and help you grow. So as long as I'm doing that, bro, I am content with my life. Let's continue.
Going back to the image,
prime example, me.
The only reason to embark on an endeavor like this is if the endeavor itself is the point. Perhaps the second guy will reach the diamonds not because he is looking for them, but because he likes digging.
He's a digger. He's a digger. Amazing video. Amazing video. Thank you for requesting this, bro. Reyes, you're awesome, brother. So yeah, that was the video, and I hope it gave you a little bit extra perspective on not just the image, but your place within the image, because we're all in this image, whether we realize it or not. You're either the guy at the bottom, the guy at the top, you're either the shovel, you're either the guy that gave him the shovels, you're either the person that put the diamonds there, or you're somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe you're in the comment section. I don't know.
Right?
And if you are in the comment section, share your favorite part of the video, the favorite part of the reaction. What did you learn from it? What did you take away? Did you understand it? If you did, share your thoughts below so you can maybe help other people understand your perspective on this entire image. It's your boy KhunShawn, man. I hope you guys learned something, and if you did, hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. I would love to make more videos like this. Things are changing for me personally. I'm going to be heading to Japan. I'm going to be in silent meditation, so I won't have anything. So I'll be gone for a while, like a long while in terms of internet attention span. So I'll be gone, but I'll be back, and when I come back, hopefully we have more stuff to teach and learn together. So farewell, see you soon, and have a good day.